Good morning and welcome to PSJA Java Chat, your morning chat with your favorite PSJA ISD instructional technology integration specialist, where we discuss edtech tools and trends with invited guests and, of course, our morning coffee.
In episode 6 of Java Chat, January Middle School District Tech Integrator Valerie Hernandez tells us about her teaching background and how she got into technology and the current collaboration she has to push her students on campus further into tech integration.
Welcome to another edition of Java Chat. I'm here, Marco Torres, along with Valentin Guerra in the Instructional Technology Department. And today for Java Chat, we are going to interview one of our district integrators of the month. For secondary, it's Miss Valerie Hernandez. She is a math teacher at Alamo Middle School. So welcome, Valerie. Thank you for being here. We're very happy that you are one of the district integrators of the month. Actually, you were the first middle school, the first secondary integrator for this year when we started in January, and we're very happy that you're here to be with us today.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. It's been an adventure, and it's always exciting to continue learning with you all.
Awesome. So let's get started with some introduction, kind of breaking the ice. A couple questions. First of all, tell us about your educational background. I know that it's fairly extensive. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. It's kind of funny when I think about it because I earned my Bachelor of Science with a major in kinesiology and a minor in special ed and English. So it was a completely different route that I started with. I started teaching special education at the elementary. I did that for about 13 years. And then I decided to make the jump into general ed, and oh my gosh, I had a blast. It was a huge change, and I'll always have a special place for the special ed students and that department and the patients and caring that it takes. But once I made that jump, it was like, okay, I can finally teach without all the paperwork. So with that, I started attending some of the technology trainings that you all had and the ones that Region 1 had, and it kind of ignited that little, like, I'm going to go back to school. And I earned my master's in educational technology in 2021. And then after that, I realized, hey, I need some more meat for these bones. So I went back and continued and got a second master's in curriculum and instruction with an emphasis in math and science. So that's been my journey in education.
That is amazing. We are, and PSJA is very lucky to have somebody super highly qualified and having that background in elementary, middle school, special ed, technology. You're kind of a jack of all trades.
That's awesome.
Literally a jack of all trades. When you're in a resource setting or a special education setting, a lot of people just see you working with small groups, and they don't realize that you have to serve students that are from pre-K to 5th grade. So not only do you have to know the needs of that child, you have to know all the TEKS for reading, math, science. So, it looks very, distant if you see it from the outside, but once you're in that position, you have to know it inside out. That way you can really meet each kid's goals.
Well, and also like the curriculum and any resources that you might be able to use from the SPET department and everything is so wow. Kudos to you.
And that's where the technology comes in, because a lot of these kiddos, this is their gateway. This is how they shine. This is what shows them their true colors, because some of them cannot articulate or communicate traditionally. So when you incorporate technology into some of these settings, the kids bloom, they blossom, and they show their strengths in different ways.
So I know that you said that you started coming to some of our trainings, but I tell us a little bit how did you get into technology? What was like, okay, I'm going to start doing these trainings. What was the it that made you start getting into technology?
It was sort of kind of like not an accident, because one of our CITs had maternity leave, and once she had a baby, she's like, I can't do this anymore. So they asked me, and they knew that I loved incorporating technology. So, I started going to the meetings, and it was like, wow. Once I was exposed to what Region 1 had to offer also, it's a huge network of very supportive and understanding of people. You know, it's a very different mindset than you know, your traditional curriculum training. So I really like that aspect. It's very open and very innovative and very positive environments.
I'm glad that you feel that way.
And I'm glad you brought up Region 1 because what if your school might be aware, but maybe not other schools here at PSJ, that you've been volunteering and doing your own technology presentations when it comes to our Region 1 kind of conferences. And so I'm glad that not only are you becoming an active learner in technology, but you're also spreading the information that you're learning with other people in other districts.
Right.
Let's go on to the next question. Usually the times I've been in your class, I've seen you use all kind of apps, and you've shown me all kinds of programs, and they're really fascinating because they have like a STEM or a math background, and that's very foreign to me coming from a social studies background. Can you share with us your experience about using technology in the classroom for instructional purposes?
For instructional purposes, I feel that you really have to get to know what you're going to be using because of the accountability. The gamification is a very good way to get your kids hooked in, but because of the competitiveness, sometimes they just want to be the one that wins. They just want to be the one that clicks the fastest, and then they lose the point of the game or whatever it is that you're using. And I feel that once you show them how they're accountable and you show them a little bit of data in that sense, you know, their mind shifts from let me be the fastest to let me be the most accurate. So I feel like you have to really carefully select what you're going to be using depending on the content that you're teaching.
And I like how you brought up gamification because, of course, it's one of the biggest things that gets students engaged. But another thing that I noticed in your class, even being there yesterday, is how you have the students create. Like you're doing those assignments on I forget the name of it, the one that the kids were using yesterday.
And they use
yes,
Scratch.
on Scratch, and they're making their own videos and they're doing all this really cool stuff. So it's not only gamification that you're doing, but it's also creativity.
It's a lot of creative thinking and a lot of problem solving because they're coding, you know, along with the skill of you know, that I always try to tie it into something that they're doing, you know, in their other classes. So if I have them do some kind of a project on top of learning what each block does and you know, shifts their character and moves it, you know, I'm including the AI, I'm including, you know, the Python.
How are you including the AI?
Because our campus is very fortunate. We have the Amazon Future Engineers Scholarship. So they provide a curriculum that allows us to use a lot of the pilot Scratch programs that they have the new blocks that for whatever unit I'm doing, like let's say it has the facial recognition, it has the text where it'll actually say the words. So just knowing that they can create something and they can use their hand to move things in Scratch, like that's a whole different component. And I like that, you know, we're one of the first campuses that is able to do it. Like,
okay, I need to go see that.
Absolutely. I'm so down for it. I would love to share that. And I know I have some of the things on our Alamo Middle School technology website. So I'll be more than glad to share that with you all. The kids, it's so amazing what they can do. Their coding skills, their creativity, all together, it's amazing.
Great. Well, building onto that, now let's do about your personal preferences at your tech expertise at work. What is one of your favorite education tech tools so far that you used in your teaching?
Okay, so at the elementary level, my favorite was Novel Effect paired with.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I had like my husband's huge speaker connected, and you know I would love the sound effects, and I had the kids do it with the microphone. So it was like a little party in the classroom, but it was a book. And then I would have them go back to Book Creator and, you know, kind of do a retell. I did second grade for a few years, and that was a real good opportunity for them to really differentiate the characters and their emotions and retell. I knew that they were capturing the story by the books that they created. Now, at the middle school level, for my Principles of Information Tech, I love Look It because the course is very self-directed and structured, and they have to finish 26 chapters to get their high school credit. So I've created a lesson in Look It for each chapter. So 26 chapters and about 3 lessons each. So they read, they watch the video, and then they take a quiz. But we always play a Look It before. That way I know that they can be successful at it, and they have several attempts at it. The other one is Canva. Canva is a great tool. I have them do information like infographics. Women's History Month is happening, so I have them do like women in tech. I'll give them like a list of people. I'll put a rubric up and let them create, and I'll give them like of course a list of things that they need to include, and of course they have to learn how to cite their references and
those are 3 different, very distinct types of tech tools, and I love all 3. Thank you. Wow. If you had to pick one right now, tell me one. Right now.
Scratch.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome, Valerie. We're very glad that you're not just sticking to like one application and doing it for all the classes that you have. It's really cool that, for one class you're using one app, and then for another class you're using a different app. And that's what makes learning fun, is that I think you're using some apps that other teachers probably aren't using as regularly. So at least when a student goes to your class, they're like, okay, today either we're going to do coding, or today we're going to do Canva, or, and it's just different. It's a little outside of the box, and it does get kids a little bit more excited, in my opinion, compared to, say, even though we're advocates of Nearpod, say doing Nearpod all day, every day for all of the classes. So we're very glad that you're using a variety of tools. And so changing gears just a little bit, going from the classroom to your personal kind of time, how has technology changed your view in life and your personal time?
Well, it's kind of, it ignited my passion for learning again. Like, for a while, I felt like kind of stagnant. And once I started, getting more involved with Microsoft was my big, like, gateway, all the different courses that they had. I started loving collecting those badges, and then the information that I was learning, like, of course, I became
I'm a badger too. I'm a badger too.
Big time. Like, I want to collect all the badges, but the information, it went back to student level all the way to leadership level. Like, this is how I can help my principal. This is how I can help my team, my grade level, and this is how I can help my students. So it's really reignited my passion for learning. And in my free time, I like that there's like the outlets like Twitter where you can use it to learn. You get to see what the problems that other teachers and people are facing with technology and how they address it. And it gives me ideas on how I can, I feel like I'm not the only one struggling with this or that. And it helps me to continue to grow.
I like that. I like how you brought up Twitter, because it is a really good avenue of information where you could see what are some issues people are going through, what are some cool tools that people have come up with. Real quick, what is your favorite? I guess at the moment this is just like a follow-up question. What's right now your favorite app, whether it's like on your phone or a website that you visit kind of regularly? Any kind of technology that you kind of go toward?
I'm kind of embarrassed, but it's got to be TikTok.
Okay. That's not even an embarrassing answer. That's the answer for like a lot of people.
It is. Since it's my first year teaching 8th grade math, I like to log in and see, what other tricks and tips do these teachers have, and they have songs and they have all these different strategies. So for me, it's like I like that I can narrow down my search to 8th grade math teaks, and it's very current. You
can TikTok?
Yes.
Wow, that is so cool.
If you do 2023 math 8th grade teaks, like there's one teacher that does like a whole set of videos, and he'll take you step by step on the strategy, and then
That is
So
so cool.
That
I
is
didn't
awesome.
know that it had there. That's so awesome. So like teachers are just out there sharing their knowledge, and that is so cool.
yeah.
How has technology changed your life in your personal time? Like nothing about your personal life. We talked about work and teaching
I
and
think
all this
that's the
stuff.
one that I think I just asked about.
Oh, really? Were you just whoops? So what inspired you to teach technology, to use technology in your classroom?
Like I said in the beginning, it's been seeing how adding the technology component really gives you a good picture of students' abilities. Like, not everybody can communicate effectively on paper pencil tasks or even like on typing tasks. But if you add in, some of those like the flips or anything that has where they can record themselves or draw or create something, it gives you, it shows you that they're understanding, because it can even be deeper than what you thought, and it's more than what the STAR test, gives. It's way deeper.
Have you used the recording feature in Nearpod with the students?
Not yet. No, I haven't.
Cool. I'll teach you if you want to.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's awesome. I'm like, the students can actually verbally respond to any question that you have.
Definitely need that.
Awesome.
I think this is an interesting question, because I know the people in this chat right now were very like pro tech and all that stuff, and we want to use it to our advantage to make learning a little bit more engaging. So what advice would you have for a teacher that's reluctant to incorporate technology in the classroom? Let's just say the anti-us in the chat room.
Right. No, and it's a very true thing. It's a hard change, but we have to think about the future of these kids, the job force that they're going to be facing, what they're going to see in their futures, and I think they have to look forward. And it's not necessarily use all of these things. It's get good at one, and allow your students. Don't hinder your students because you're afraid to do it. Like, don't be afraid. Everybody makes mistakes, and it's going to be a lot of trial and error, and that's the only way that you'll be able to incorporate it successfully in the future. You have to do the trial and error, because every group of students that you get is going to be different. So what worked one year will not work the next year necessarily. So it takes time. That would be my best advice. Make a little bit of time to do that, because it's an investment on yourself and on your students.
And do it gradually. If you're too scared to just jump on, just little by little, little by little.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's just like one of the things that I wanted to add to this that you were saying is I was watching, I like to watch YouTube sometimes in bed, like falling asleep to YouTube and whatever. And or on my phone, like reading the news. And with ChatGPT, there's a lot of jobs are going to go bye-bye. So if people are not starting to get with technology, they might not have anything to do. It's kind of scary, but we are moving forward as a race into the future. There's going to be a lot more new jobs, I'm sure, but automation and artificial intelligence is going to take away a lot of the jobs that we currently have.
It does.
So,
and one thing that I tell my students, because I have some students that they are blunt and they're like, already, I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to work at a car wash. And I'm like, you got to learn how to work a computer now. Look at the car washes that are opening up. They're run by computers. So you're still going to have to learn this. So I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but because you're not going to escape it. Even in farming, they're relying on technology to run things. So everything is shifting to that component.
Yeah.
So you got to get with it.
Yeah. So I want you to think about like moments that you've had that you feel like, yes, whoa, I'm so proud I was able to do this with tech. Your proudest moments using technology.
My proudest moments have been presenting or getting the feedback after presenting, like at UTech, or having administrators from different districts reach out and ask me to meet with them to share ideas. That's been a good relationship, and that's how I know it's been successful. Like it changed somebody. At least it affected one person. I made a difference for that one person, and they're going to take back, all my research was worth something because they're thinking about it, they're going to use it.
Oh, you're such a good human. I love it.
Yeah, I like it, and I always tell people it's kind of a numbers game when any one of us three are doing any kind of instructional presentation. If we get one teacher, they teach X amount of kids. So maybe if you got one teacher out of a room of 10, you still affected a good amount of students. And so I like the attitude, I like the perspective, and we're very glad that you're always able to share resources with other people. I know we're going up against it. We're on the last question. We do have one. I think we've been fortunate to get to know you over the at least for me, the last couple of years. But we want to ask you maybe, how do you see yourself being set apart from other teachers? What sets you apart from maybe not other teachers in your campus, or maybe other teachers in the district where you've seen some of their trainings and you can kind of compare yourself? How do you see yourself being set apart from others?
I think it's that once I have my mindset to something, I'm gonna do the research, and I'm gonna reach out, and I'm gonna talk to whoever I need to talk to, and I'm gonna dig, and I'm gonna look at numbers and data to kind of solidify whatever it is I have questions for. That way, if I need to present about a topic, I'm gonna know XYZ that comes with it, because I know that there's always a set of questions that comes after it. So I try to do all my research before that. I'm very, I guess, intrinsically motivated. Like, I'm very dedicated, and I'm very determined once it comes to any kind of obstacle or any kind of task I'm given. I do it completely. I love my students. I love my job. It's like I tell a lot of people, like, I applied to work here. I'm the one that chose to come here, so I'm going to give it my all.
And I think it's something that not only we notice, but I know when talking with administration over there at Alamo Middle School, they also see it too. So obviously there's something very special about you, and you're always very highly thought of and talked about. And so we're glad that you're on board and that you're spreading the love for EdTech here at PSJA.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on today, guys. This is very important, and it's very awesome. I love the chat.
Well, we appreciate you being here with us, Valerie. Any last words, Valentin?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for being amazing. Like, seriously, you exude like humility, amazingness, your knowledge, your love, your care. It's so nice and refreshing. We want to keep you longer.
Thank you, and you all are always welcome to my classroom.
So let's go.
My door is always open. Absolutely, because any chance that you all can come in, it gives me a perspective that you all can give me feedback, and you all can take stuff back too. So it's a growing experience for everybody, and I love it.
Well, thank you so much, Valerie. We really appreciate you being here this morning, and keep up the good work. And you never know, maybe you'll be a district innovator, or innovator of the district again. The year is not over. The year is not over. So keep up the good work, and we're really glad that you're here with us. And we hope you have a great day.